Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as that. You want to get big to try to absorb Canelo punches and all this, but that's not, technically, that's not the Crawford that we're going to see. And then Crawford going up there to fight Canelo at 68, when he's not a 68 pounder, where's the motivation?
Jermall Charlo has issued a stark warning to Terence Crawford, cautioning him against stepping into the ring with Canelo Alvarez. According to Charlo, a showdown with the Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez could prove disastrous for Crawford's legacy. While Charlo expressed genuine respect for Crawford, he followed up with a measured take on the potential clash. Drawing from first-hand insight after watching his brother, Jermall Charlo, face Canelo, Jermall admitted he likes Crawford's chances stylistically, but warned of the dangers that come with jumping weight classes. He explained that his brother managed to bulk up, but the added size came at the cost of speed and reflexes, two assets that evaporated under the bright lights against Canelo.
All right, I like Crawford. All right, my brother for Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he get to stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I gotta get massive, I gotta get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower, it made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself. He didn't feel like the Jermall Charlo that y'all seen the fights on the half.
Building on that experience, Charlo believes Crawford could be walking into the same trap. In his view, focusing too much on gaining size and durability might undercut what makes Crawford special, his slickness and elusiveness. While the extra weight may help absorb punches, Charlo doubts it will elevate Crawford's overall effectiveness in the ring. As far as he's concerned, stepping into Canelo's domain without a decisive advantage only raises questions about the logic behind the move.
Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as that. You want to get big to try to absorb Canelo punches and all this, but that's not, technically, that's not the Crawford that we're going to see. And then Crawford going up there to fight Canelo at 68, when he's not a 68 pounder, where's the motivation?
Further amplifying his message, Jermall Charlo did not shy away from expressing his ambitions. He threw his name into the mix as a potential opponent for Canelo, framing a clash with the Mexican champion as a legacy-defining moment, one that, in his eyes, holds far more meaning than a bout with Caleb Plant.
Hopefully, I can get the Canelo fight. I mean, when y'all want to see that? I'd rather fight Canelo than Plant. At this point, I was ready. It just wasn't the time. The time wasn't. It's all about the time. Like we said, that's what we talk about, right? It's all about the time God gives us, bro. Look, I'm not tripping on, like, you know, the Canelo fight. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. You know what I mean? At 168, I want to become a world champion at 168 for myself, for my legacy, for my kids, you know? And other than that, I would just let it flow. I just want to be great but you know, go down in history as like one of the greats.
However, it's not just Charlo voicing caution. Legendary former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson also expressed deep reservations about the matchup. Tyson pointed to the glaring weight disparity, suggesting it presents a major red flag. Reflecting on Crawford's recent bout with Israel Madrimov, Tyson criticized the performance as unimpressive and tightly contested. From his perspective, moving up to 168 to face a powerhouse like Canelo isn't just risky, it's a recipe for disaster.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, but this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. Right. He fought a guy that was just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky jerky.
Yeah. Want to know.
And right now, you keeping your eye on like a Crawford or anybody like that?
I just came from Crawford's last fight.
In L.A.?
Yes.
You went to it. What'd you think?
I thought that was a tough guy, and that guy gave, you know what I mean? I'm glad that he came back the last two rounds. You know, the guy was very awkward and strong.
Super awkward.
Yeah, and this guy fights anybody. Crawford fights anybody. Yeah. I don't agree with that, you know, because you got to look good in order for you won't mess up your next fight. Because if you fight this guy, you don't look good. The fans say, I don't want him. He's not going to look good or win with this guy. You got to constantly have fights that you know and fight a guy that's going to make you look good. The guy got to pressure you or something. You know, this guy's running around. Crawford's not used to this kind of movement and
Weird
stuff.
fit.
Yeah, awkward.
Echoing Tyson's sentiment, trainer Joel Diaz also focused on Crawford's lack of pop at higher weights. Referencing the Israel Madrimov bout, Diaz argued that Crawford didn't cause much damage in that fight and questioned how he would fare at yet another weight class against a beast like Alvarez. In his estimation, while Canelo can eat any punch Crawford throws, the reverse scenario is far less likely.
Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing.
A lot.
Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ.
On the flip side, not everyone is buying into the narrative that size is destiny. Sports analyst Ade Oladipo pushed back on that notion, emphasizing that Crawford has shown an uncanny ability to move up in weight without losing his athleticism or sharpness. Oladipo sees no sign of decline in Crawford's performances and insists the fight will be won not by mass, but by mastery through timing, ring IQ, and technical brilliance.
Crawford still looks so athletic, even when he does put the weight on. So I don't think the weight is as big an issue as some people say. It's an issue, but I don't think it's as big an issue. You know, going back to that Usyk Fury thing, the fact that Usyk, by the way, Usyk's my pound for pound number 1 by some distance. The fact that Usyk does give away that much, and again, he's fighting really highly skilled fighters and still beating them, giving that away.
In addition, Terence Crawford made it clear he's unfazed by the size difference heading into his clash with Canelo Alvarez, brushing off concerns with confidence born from experience. According to Crawford, he's been battling bigger opponents his entire life and consistently proving that skill outweighs size.
I've been beating up big dudes all my life.
Cause they underestimate your bud.
It's just, even if they didn't, I'm gonna beat you up. You know, I can fight.
Right.
You know, so if you watch, like, all these dudes bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't care, but I'm gonna find a way to win, no matter what.
In September, are you gonna pull this? I shook up the world. I told you.
Crawford further reminded critics that he's consistently faced larger men in the ring and dominated them. For him, this fight isn't just another test, it's a chance to rewrite the narrative once again and prove that greatness knows no weight class.
Definitely. That's definitely gonna be, you know what I mean, one of the moments, you know. I need the doubters to fuel me. What you think he'll do if he go up 2 more weight classes? I need that, you know, because that's gonna make me more focused and turn into a different animal. So I need the people to say, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough.
Amid the buzz, Caleb Plant added his own measured take, expressing admiration for both fighters. He praised Crawford's rare versatility, calling him freakishly strong and a master of seamlessly switching between orthodox and southpaw. Whether it's up close, mid-range, or from a distance, Plant sees Crawford as a dangerous puzzle.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter, still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top, and it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch, he's got good crack, he can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw, he can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways, so it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Meanwhile, world champion Sebastian Fundora offered a more grounded view rooted in weight and experience. He acknowledged Crawford's greatness, but stressed that Canelo is fully at home at 168 pounds.
I have Canelo. Canelo's more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter, and of course, we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division. 147, 168, 2 different divisions.
Do you think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so.
Why is that? Why do you?
This guy's more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting 168 for 4 or 5 years now. Crawford's a great fighter, but you know, we'll see. Boxing, anything can happen.
Did it look like Canelo was slowing down against Skull?
No, I think it's just something he's uncomfortable with.
Yet even amid the cautions, Tim Shu remains optimistic about Crawford's chances. Shu pointed to Canelo's recent fight against William Skull, stating that the Mexican icon looked far removed from the ferocious version who once battled Gennady Golovkin. In Shu's eyes, Canelo has grown more comfortable and may lack the urgency that once defined him.
In my opinion, from the way Alvarez has looked in his last couple of fights, I think Crawford wins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How so?
I used to go the other direction, but I don't know. I felt like Canelo's just he's not like the triple when he fought Triple G. You know, those days, that type of fighting. I think he's a bit more comfortable now. I think Crawford's got a lot more to prove.
And how does he beat him? What do you think he needs to do?
2 more questions.
Just the way Floyd Mayweather did it. Just box and move. And he's got the IQ, and he's a very high level fighter.
Is there any chance, do you think Crawford can hurt Canelo?
Yeah, I think so.
Adding to the chorus of voices, Top Rank's gym manager Frank Stea gave a unique perspective drawn from his years behind the scenes. Having seen both men up close, Stea acknowledged Canelo's presence but was quick to reaffirm his deep-rooted belief in Crawford's destiny. For Stea, this fight is more than marquee. It's a historic moment set perfectly on Mexican Independence Day.
I know I've been around Canelo a few times, but as far as a relationship, I don't know him like that. I've just seen him in the gym train a few times. He's been in this gym a couple times. But I know Terrence Bud Crawford on a personal level, and I've known Terrence over a decade. So I've always, even as he was a prospect with under 10 fights, I always thought one day he was going to be one of the best fighters in the world. And right now, he's arguably pound for pound #1. Terrence Crawford is a generational fighter, probably the best pound for pound fighter over the past 5 years.
Frank further expressed excitement over the high-stakes showdown between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, calling it a blockbuster matchup set on the perfect stage, with the fight landing on Mexican Independence Day under the lights and energy of a massive boxing weekend. Stay sees this as more than just a regular boxing event. It's a defining moment in the sport.
You know, what a fight that is for him and Canelo, Allegiant Stadium in September. Mexican Independence Day, another Mexican holiday. I love it. It's a big event. Maybe I'll show up in attendance for something like that. It's a big stadium. I don't know if I want to get caught in all that traffic and that chaos and all the germs that dirty people bring around with them. So, but but for real, I'm excited about it, and I think this is Bud's time to cement himself. I think this fight between Terrence Crawford and Canelo will solidify the #1 fighter of this generation.
Not stopping there, Stay confidently predicted that Crawford would pull off the upset, asserting that Bud has the tools to mentally and physically break down Canelo throughout the fight.
I like Crawford. I like Crawford either by stoppage. I think he has the ability to make Canelo, overwhelm Canelo, and make Canelo quit, maybe in the corner, maybe even stop him, maybe even shock us. It would be a shocker if he knocks Canelo out, but I think it's a possibility. But ultimately, Terrence Bud Crawford, unanimous decision.
In addition, Amir Khan also threw his support behind Terrence Crawford, pointing to Crawford's physical strength and size as a welterweight as key assets that could carry over in a clash with Canelo Alvarez. Khan believes that if Crawford sticks to a disciplined game plan, maintaining range and picking Canelo apart from the outside, he has the tools to outbox the Mexican star. In Khan's view, Crawford is simply the better all-around fighter, and if he executes properly, he has a real shot at pulling off the upset.
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
However, Juan Manuel Marquez voiced his skepticism for the bout, pointing to the importance of weight classes in boxing. While he acknowledged Crawford's talent at super lightweight and welterweight, Marquez questioned the wisdom of jumping 2 divisions to face a seasoned champion at 168 pounds. Despite Crawford's strong defense and crisp combinations, Marquez believes the physical demands of the jump could be too much to overcome against a fighter like Canelo.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power. And 3 more divisions, 2 more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
Echoing that concern, Mikey Garcia weighed in with his reservations about the fight. Garcia stated that he is not in favor of the matchup, pointing to the significant weight difference between the 2 fighters. While he acknowledges Crawford as one of the best in the sport, he questions how the welterweight champion plans to bridge the gap against a fighter who has been dominating at 168 pounds.
Although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he has some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor.
Yet, despite all the talk of weight, ring legend Roy Jones Jr. challenged the narrative. According to Jones, this bout won't hinge on mass, but on mastery. He recognized that Canelo has the tools to win, but warned that Crawford's ring IQ and execution could tilt the balance.
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight. Control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
Offering a balanced perspective, Keith Thurman gave Canelo his due, acknowledging his durability, grit, and dominant reign as undisputed super middleweight champion. However, Thurman made it clear that while Canelo is formidable, he's not invincible.
The thing about Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat. But he's not unbeatable. Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he's not unbeatable. We've seen him take some losses. We saw the first Golovkin fight where a lot of people didn't feel like he pulled it out. I wish Golovkin would have just thrown a little bit more body shots, did a little bit more, because I felt like the fight was his. If he would have done a little bit more, it really would have been his.
As the countdown to Crawford versus Canelo continues, the boxing world remains sharply divided. From stern warnings to bold predictions, every voice adds fuel to the fire of anticipation. Whether Crawford defies the odds or confirms the critics, one thing is certain: this isn't just a fight, it's a defining moment in modern boxing history. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, show your support by liking the video, and share the video with a boxing fan. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a beat, and we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates.